Hello there guys and welcome back to Season 3, Episode 1 of Upon This Rock. And as you can see here, we are in the Premier Division. Absolutely amazing. Cannot believe I am saying that, but we are here in the Elite League in England. And there's been lots going on in pre-season and when the season ended against Huddersfield in the playoff final. So today's episode is going to be about ins and outs, who's come in, who's gone out. It's going to be about the season expectations and we're going to look at the season preview as well. And then we're going to get into our first game. I'm not going to tell you who it's against, but I'm going to show you the schedule later on in the episode. So, first things first, let's see who's come in and who's gone out. So I'll only go through the outs that have actually got us a little bit of cash. So Bin Williams has gone out on loan to Charlton. We're going to get paid around about £8,000 to £9,000 a month, every month when he's playing there. There is an optional future fee of around about £300,000 as well. That did serve us very well this summer, and I'll tell you a few of the squad that actually helped that out as well. So Bin Williams has gone. Jordan Nichols has gone to Lincoln, and that was a mandatory fee of £10,000. So we got that back in, which is great. Ricardo Santos, he's gone to Luton, and that's on an £8,500 fee. Jordan Nicholson, £10,000. Aaron Williams, another £10,000. That was a mandatory fee. Michael Smith has left us to Plymouth, and that's on a £60,000 offer. Ryan Tafazoli, Edwards, they were both mandatory fees when they were going out on loan last season. So Tafazoli's joined Swindon at £200,000, and Guy and Edwards has joined Leyton Orient at £250,000. Boswick has gone to Rotherham. That's a £300,000 fee that they've paid there. Luke James has gone to Luton, so Luton double sweep for them. Ricardo Santos and Luke James, another £300,000. Shaq has now gone out to Leyton Orient at £500,000, and Lee Angol to Rotherham at £575,000. So as you can see there, we've sold a couple of defenders, a couple of midfielders, and a couple of strikers. If you look to the left-hand side, this is who we have brought in. So let's work from top to bottom. Joe Wildsmith, I thought I needed a backup goalkeeper. And as you can see here, 3-star current ability, 4-star potential ability. I bought him in for £4 million from Sheffield Wednesday. Hadn't really played much over the last few seasons, but he is well respected in the game. And him and Luke McGee are going to really battle for that number one shirt at the Posh. He's played pre-season pretty well. 3 appearances, 3 conceded, 2 clean sheets, 7.43 up pre-season. Zach Clough has come in from Bolton. He's a bit of a favourite of mine on the game. Signed him last year for a Rangers save that I did offline before I kind of joined YouTube, and he was scoring goals for fun for me, which is absolutely brilliant. Stats here, absolute quality. So we play him as an advanced forward, and as you see where the attributes are highlighted, he kind of ticks all the boxes, probably apart from heading. That's the only one he doesn't. So 13 dribbling, 14 finishing, 14 first touch, 13 passing, 15 composure, 14 anticipation, off the balls 14, work rates 13, and his physicals are pretty decent as well. 3.5-star current ability, 4-star potential ability. Pre-season, banging in the goals, 4 goals, 5 assists, 8.08 in pre-season. Fantastic performances from Zach. Last year at Bolton, he played 46 games, scored 20 goals and hit a 7.14 average rating. So I had to snap him up. £4 million, a bargain for me, to be brutally honest. So I bought in a Adoma Lookman. He is around about 3.7 million. I think that was his release fee from Charlton. Left-hand sided player, 3-star current ability, but could be potentially 5-star ability. He has been injured in pre-season, as you can see here. So what I'm planning to do is loaning him out this season and getting him some game time, rediscovering some of that form of fitness. He needs games so he can get better and better and better. But again, I use him as a winger on the left. 9 crossing, 13 dribbling, 13 first touch, 13 technique, great work rate, wicked physicals, really good, really fast, great stamina. I think next season, if we stay in the Premier League or even if we go down to the Championship, he'll be a fantastic performer for us. Next up, Dwight Gale is back at London Road. He came here a few seasons back, as you can see here. We only had him for around about 6 to 8 months, and Crystal Palace then come in and snapped him up for £5.5 million. And now he's back into the squad. 3.1 million, absolute snippet. And again, playing advanced forward, and some of these attributes are scary. I think he could score the goals that are going to keep us up. 16 finishing, 15 composure, 11 heading, determination and decisions are great. Off the ball, work rate is really good. Balance, acceleration, pace, stamina and strength. Really good attributes for someone like Dwight Gale. He only played a couple of games in pre-season because his fitness was pretty decent. 2 appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist, 7.55. But I'm very, very happy. Very good deal for Dwight Gale. As I said, we bought him in for 3.1 million. So awesome little sale for us there. And then we've got a few defenders here. Andre Wisdom from Liverpool needed a cover in the right back, and he's bought him in for 2.9 million. And again, as a right back, as a wing back, some of his attributes were fantastic. So great stamina, great strength, great pace and acceleration, concentration and decisions are good, positioning, teamwork, work rate, tackling, passing and marking are good. The only one he needs to work on really is crossing. But again, we can work on that in individual training. 3.5 star current ability, 3.5 star potential ability. So he's not going to grow anymore. But at the end of the day, I need someone very, very solid at the back in that right back position. Next up, Rob Holding, 22 years old. Ignore the arrows. The arrows, he's only in pre-season, is absolutely fine. But I think I found the perfect partner for Jack Baldwin. This is Rob Holding, sorry. As a ball-playing defender, is what we call a grapefruit. He is fully rounded. And then first touch 12, heading, marking, tackling, all kind of 13 or 14. Positioning is great at 14, vision's 13. His mentals, for someone at 22, are pretty decent. Decision-making, determination, concentration, composure, anticipation, all 12 or above. Physicals are fantastic as well, and he's only 22. So all of these, as long as he continues to play in the first team, they'll all go one way, and that's up. The next defender coming in was Reece Burke. Reece Burke, he was at West Ham, but Burnley snapped him up at 5.75 million. Didn't really play much last season, so I snapped him up for a measly 1.9 million pounds as another ball-playing defender. 13 heading, 13 marking, 14 tackling. Positioning's great, work rate's great. His mentals yet again really good, and then also his physicals as well. 3-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. He's only 21, so he's going to be a force in the next few seasons. Stephen Kingsley from Swansea, more competition at left back, which is why we let Bin and Williams go to Charlton on loan, and I think he's a hell of a lot better. Very well-rounded left back, Stephen Kingsley. I've used him a couple of times last season. I actually managed Swansea again last year as well before I joined YouTube, and I think he's better in this version of the game than he was last year. So 15 crossing, 12 marking, 11 passing, 12 tackling, work rate, teamwork, positioning, decisions, concentration, and also the physicals to match that high work rate up and down that left hand side. So fantastic little buy. As I said, £550,000. I thought it was a really good buy. And then we brought in a few free transfers. I had to do a lot of kind of wiggling with the wage budget and the transfer budget. First one in was Andres Pereira from Man United. They let him go at the end of last season. I've picked him up on a free. I play him just behind the striker as an advanced midfielder, and I think he could turn into an absolute superstar. So 3-star current ability, 4-star potential ability, so he does have a little bit of growth there. The only thing that really needs to be working on is kind of positioning. But again, we can work on that within the training. But first touch is great, long shots, passing, technique, composure, anticipation off the ball, vision, work rate, good physicals as well. And he's lit up the pre-season. So he's had kind of 5 appearances, 5 goals, 2 assists, 8.1 average rating in the pre-season. So very happy with picking Andreas up. We then go Bakary Sakho on the left-hand side. So again, I needed someone a little bit more experienced in the squad. Brought him in on a free. 1.4 million he's worth now. 3.5-star current ability, 3.5-star potential ability. He isn't going to get any better, but at the end of the day, he's kind of already there or thereabouts. Good crossing, good dribbling, good first touch. Good work rate, pace, great physicals really, good technique, and he's a fully left-sided winger, and that's what we needed really. Need a little bit more competition for someone like Marcus Maddison, and I think Bakary could at the minute be our starter and kind of push Marcus away from the first team. And finally, didn't think I'd get him purely because he's coming in from Real Madrid, but Marcos Llorente. He's going to play in this midfielder role. I'm going to play him deeper, a little bit like a central midfielder, sorry, because he can play. He has got that defensive-minded setup, because he is naturally a defensive midfielder as well. So 3.5-star current ability, and it can go up to 4.5 stars. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing how he develops. Physicals need to be developed a little bit more. With him being Spanish, he's probably not used to being very physical within games. But first touch is great, as you know. Technique is great. Passing 16. Decision, determination, concentration, all above kind of 12 and above. Teamwork, positioning, work rate. I think this man could be a fantastic foil to Lee Evans, to Jermaine Anderson, to Leo da Silva Lopez, and to Chris Forrester, and allows them guys to kind of push forward and really kind of attack teams. Fairly average pre-season, 7.2, and they are the signings from back to front. We literally have nothing left in the kitty. We spent 22.5 million because we did bring in a little bit more cash on the outs, and yeah, I think I've done pretty decent with the wage budget I had. Anybody else that was kind of bigger than that just didn't want to come, or they wanted really silly money, they're like stupid money to come to the team. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If I've ever done well, have I done badly? Was there anybody that you probably wouldn't have brought in? Was any other names that you possibly think that I could have brought in this season? But I've got a very good mixture of youngsters and a lot of experience there as well. So let's move on to the season preview in the Premier League. So here's the season preview. As you can see, we are rock bottom. We are one of the 4 teams that are 1,000 to 1 to win the league, which I don't care about. I don't care about winning the league. I'm not thinking about winning the league this year. We're down there with Norwich and Swansea, who both came up with us, and also Burnley as well. So they are 4 teams, but then you've also got teams like Bournemouth, Crystal Palace, Watford, West Brom that are going to be within that kind of 7-team battle to try and survive in the Premier League. As I said last season, as I said the previous episode, we are looking for 40 points. That is the absolute minimum that I am looking for. I'm not looking for anything else. I just want to maintain our status in the Premier League. As you can see here, we are a 3-star reputation team. But if I flick through some of them, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, it kind of then goes up to 4s and 3.5s. So we are the lowest rated team in the Premier League at 3-star team. That is going to be even more horrific. It's going to be even more harder to actually stay in the Premier League first time of asking. I say we spent over £20 million. A lot of the players that I brought in, and also players that I've done contracts for, I've got a minimum relegation release clause as well. Tried to take them off, but they just weren't having absolutely any of it. Finally, let's see who we're going to face today in the very first game in the Premier League. We are going to be playing at Old Trafford on the opening day of the season, and then we follow that up with a very, very tough game at home to Tottenham. So not the easiest of starts in the season. We go Preston away in the EFL Cup, and then after that it does get a little bit easier. I say easier, it's the Premier League. Nothing's easy in the Premier League. We've got Stoke, Leicester, West Ham, West Brom, Watford and Southampton. We then play Liverpool, and then there's a few more easy games here: Norwich, Newcastle, Burnley. Then we play Chelsea. Then it kind of split up, but this I've just noticed is hell time. We've got City away, Arsenal at home, Man United at home, then potentially the FA Cup third round, and then Tottenham away. So that run of games ain't going to be nice. It's not going to be pretty, and I'm not going to look forward to it. So this is the new look team. As I said, a lot of the players have stuck around, but there are kind of new players within the starting lineup. So Joe Wildsmith is going to start in goal. Andre Wisdom, Rob Holding, Jack Baldwin, and Sean Kavanagh are left back in the defence. Got Chrissy Forrester in the middle with Jermaine Anderson. I'm keeping with that pairing just for now. As I said, not everyone is fully fit from pre-season. Sacco's going to start on the left. João Teixeira in the middle, just behind Dwight Gale up top, and Leo da Silva Lopez on the right-hand side. On the bench, we've got Pennington, Kingsley, Lee Evans, Marcus Maddison, Max Clayton, Andreas Pereira, and Jason Cummins. So yeah, let's see how we get on against potentially one of the biggest teams in the world. As I said, want 40 points from these 38 games within the Premier League. I think Man United might have a bit too much for us. We're only 10 to 1 to win. Jason Cummins is our key man, and they've got Paulo Dybala up top for them. Wow. So we go Paulo Dybala up top, Juan Mata, Martial, Pogba, Pineda, Mkhitaryan, Shaw, Thiago Silva at the back, Kevin Manolas, a great defender, Leun at right back. On the bench, David De Gea as well in goal. On the bench, you've got Marcus Rashford, Bailly, Mertens, Olivier. Oh, they've got a great team. Great team. And we're going to try and frustrate them as long as we can. I don't think we'll win. So no one expects anything from us. Let's just go out and enjoy it. See if we can get, anything from the game, to be fair. And with this opening, with it being opening game in the Premier League season, I've just got it to see us out at Old Trafford. Here we go. This is the lovely little graphics that they've got. Nice little warm-up graphics. And this is Old Trafford in Football Manager. Now we're going to knock it back down to 2D Classic, and let's get the game underway and let's see what we can do from it. Mata, 2 minutes in, corner over to Pogba, into Thiago Silva, and that is already Manchester United 1, Peterborough United 0. And we've come unstuck there. Massively come unstuck. This is going to be a very, very tough season. But so here we go. Juan Mata, great deep cross into Paul Pogba. He knocks it down to Thiago Silva on the volley, and had no chance there. Joe Wildsmith on his debut. It's 1-0 to Man United. They're absolutely dominating. I'm going to knock that down to standard, and let's see if that gets us a foothold in the game, because we are being dominated at the minute. 4 shots, 4 on target. We've had none. 48% possession. And we're getting absolutely trounced on here at the minute. Anybody that's not playing particularly well, Jean Teixeira and Dwight Gale not having the best of games. Shaw with a throw-in at left-back. Martial is going to take on Rob Holding. Reverse passing to Mata. Martial acres of space. And Joe Wildsmith has let that one in as well. Martial has made it 2-0 to Manchester United. I think that might have been a little cheeky, either a cheeky finesse into the far corner or even got a deflection. Martial now taking it back. Great little reverse pass to Mata. Rob Holding's gone somewhere, not quite sure where, and he's just dinked that. Questionable goalkeeping there from Joe Wildsmith, but it's Man United 2, Peterborough United 0. Martial is having fun here, and we're 2-0 up, 2-0 down, coming into half time. Literally, probably the hardest game to start off with. Someone like Man United, just got to show me something in the second half. I'm going to be looking at changing some personnel. 6.3s, don't really want that at all. In the start of the season, need to be hitting the ground running. Cummins is coming on for Dwight Gale. Zhao's coming off for Andreas Pereira, should I say? And I'm going to keep the third one just for now. Andre Wisdom probably be the one that's coming off because he's on a yellow card and not playing the best. Bring Pennington on. 3 subs, hour gone. As I said, not everyone is fully fit. Pre-season was a little bit later. Just wanted the guys to have a little bit more time off. Coming into the last 25 minutes, second half has been pretty dull actually, to be fair. I think they've taken their foot off the gas. Leon into Mata, but Leo gives away a penalty, and that's potentially going to be 3-0 to Man United. Horrific opening day of the season. Here comes Dybala up against Wildsmith. Let's see what he does here. See where he places it. Dybala now. Oh, Wildsmith save. Fantastic save there by Joe. Going into the last 10 minutes now. David De Gea with the ball at his feet. Baldwin, that's a great header, but falls down to Pogba straight away, and he launches a great ball into Paulo Dybala, and that's another great save by Wildsmith. He's had 2, one on the penalty and that one-on-one with Paulo Dybala. It's his nemesis at the minute. Can't get past him. Baldwin, kind of a little bit unorthodox clearance, but it does the job. But here we go. Onas going to launch it in again, but Joe Wildsmith is there, commanding of his area, coming into the last 10 minutes now. Not horrendous. It could have been worse. They could have absolutely trounced us, but 2-0 to Man United. It's unlucky. We were the underdogs. We weren't going to get anything from those games. It's the games against people like West Brom, Watford, Swansea, Burnley, Norwich. Those types of teams. If we can get 40 points up from those teams and then pick up a point here and there from the bigger teams, that is how we're going to stay up. That's the be all and end all at the end of the day. So that's it. First game of the season, first episode of season 3, culminates in a 2-0 defeat against Man United. When will I be back for another double header? I'm going to try and make these try and get as many games in this season as I can, a bit like I did in the Championship season. I'm probably going to come back. Yeah, I'm probably going to come back Stoke Leicester. I'll come back straight after Tottenham and Preston, do Stoke Leicester. And that's it for this episode of Upon This Rock. Please do leave it a like if you have enjoyed what you've seen. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more content that's going to be coming out in the next few weeks. And until next time when we play Stoke and Leicester, I'll see you soon.